is a top-notch group. They're very compassionate about what they do. They've given me the smile that I've always wanted. I've been a patient for 15 years and I wouldn't go anywhere else. I just love Tupelo Smiles.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama?
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, the forecast absolutely superb all day long. If you did not get a chance to go outside and enjoy it, you're missing out. Let's go ahead and make some plans to get out there. Tomorrow, the last day of full sunshine, but we'll get into that forecast here in just a moment. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, joined alongside a special guest you guys will see here in just a second. But yeah, it's from the land down under. You might know that hint. Well, let's go ahead and get into headlines. Above average temps continue into the next couple of days. So that warm weather that we kind of want to push out of here and get ready for fall, unfortunately, seems to be the theme for our Thursday and Friday as well. Looking ahead to Saturday and the severe weather threat, a part of that, we'll be having the latest details and the latest outlooks here in a second on Mississippi Live Weather at 10. And football is around the corner. So we're going to be tracking those forecasts here from the Room to Room Weather Center for what to expect Friday night and for those Saturday football games away and at home. So the first 12 this evening has those dry conditions, clear conditions across the region, cooling us off from 63 by 11 and then into the mid 50s for the start of our Thursday. But I mentioned a man who is from the land down under right now, not from, but he's visiting there, and he has a look at the forecast down there. And Matt, I don't think it can top the amazing forecast that we've had up here in North Mississippi. I mean, honestly, you left us with great weather, right?
Well, I guess that's the case. Hoping it stays that way even into what'll likely be a stormier weekend ahead for y'all. Which, of course, something Gabe will touch a lot more on here in a few minutes. Something we've all been keeping track of here at Mississippi Live Weather the last few days. But yes, I'm in Cairns. Cairns. They say Cairns. C-A-I-R-N-S. Hold on. C-A-I-R-N-S. Cairns. I don't know. Must be the accent. The accent I'm not good at. We got here a little earlier on today. I'll show you another part of town come up here in a few minutes, but it is hot. Honestly, we came from Sydney, which is down in the southeast part of the continent, up here to the north part that's very tropical. The parts of the area actually tropical rainforest, believe it or not. Now we're on the shoreline here. Well, I'm not actually on the shoreline. I'm on, I think, the promenade. I'm still learning the names of all the parts here because we just kind of pulled up an hour and a half or so ago. And so it's just trying to get our feet under us as far as that is concerned. Of course, the time difference significant. It's a 15-hour difference between what we have back there in Mississippi and where we are here. So I'm technically in the future right now, tomorrow at 1 p.m. I know that's why it's still warm and very humid here. But Gabe will, of course, talk a little bit more about what we have going on down here in Australia and a little bit about what we have planned in the next couple of days come up here in just a couple of minutes. But obviously, and we can go back and forth on this for a moment if you want to.
Yeah.
Severe weather chances, one of the questions in the extended, right?
Big question. Yeah, I mean, we've been without a severe weather threat, I believe, since we've started. We might have had one risk here and there, but this is probably our best outlook for severe weather. But even then, the ingredients, not exactly the best it can be for severe weather to take place, which is a good thing because we're kind of wanting to just get the rain and not the severe weather attached to it.
Wouldn't that be nice, especially considering the drought conditions that we have had, right?
Exactly.
So just a couple quick questions for you. Number one, obviously SPC, the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, they have placed us under a risk, one of those level 2 risks. They don't do that day 4 very often. We've been under that today, obviously had a risk nearby yesterday. Thinking tonight on the evolution of that. You know,
Well-
it's there's some ingredients that are out of place, right?
Yes, and the difference between when they issued that SPC or the severe weather risk to now, the difference in models is night and day. I mean, we're talking about a 12-hour swing from where that front was expected to move in to where we're expecting it to move in now. And now it's moving in midnight and beyond, which daytime heating is not in play. And then that moisture as well, just how much of that is in the atmosphere after what has been a dominantly dry environment.
You know, you're absolutely right. And one of the other things to always consider with that is it's the unfortunate factor that thankfully, when we talk about overnight events, you have less instability. Unfortunately, you have greater vulnerability. And so it's the combination of those two things, of course, we're trying to balance as we talk about this. That's why, on one hand, we have to talk about the fact that this risk exists, and on the other hand, we're trying not to downplay it too much as we see an evolution. So that's something, of course, we'll try to be as forthcoming as we can in the next couple of days. But Gabe, at least things are trending the right direction.
Exactly. High resolution models come out tomorrow, and that will give us a better idea, of the agreements on the models, just what exactly is taking place. Is the time frame the same? Is the energy the same? That kind of gives us a high definition look at what to expect. So kind of eagerly anticipating those to get us a better view on what to expect for Saturday. But I'm looking behind you and I don't see any severe weather down in Australia. So maybe we just all come down there and join you in the future down in the land.
Well, we had some rain a little bit earlier on, a little drizzle here. First time we've seen any moisture the entire time we've been here. They talked about how it's been extremely dry. It's been drought conditions here, as they're kind of wrapping up their dry season. So just a little rain the last couple of days, the first they've seen. Wouldn't it figure we get here? Hopefully it doesn't rain the entire time.
Fingers crossed, but it seems like the rain follows the meteorologist, right?
Yeah, of course, right. There's always got to be something. Okay, I'm going to send it back to y'all in the studio there. Chief Meteorologist Matt Lompon, of course, reporting live here from Cairns. Said it right. Cairns, Australia. We'll be here in the next couple of days and hopefully have some good stuff for you.
Well, and we'll see you back here in a couple of minutes giving us a look down there in Cairns. But Matt, a big thank you to just joining us. I know it's a little bit freaky, the fact that he's in Thursday right now. We're still in Wednesday. So guys, he's good at forecasting for a reason. He's in the future, so he knows what we're going to be getting, right? But still, just a great look out there. And I just was marveled at the fact that he had daylight, and this is our sky right now. Looking outside there in Clarksdale, 68 degrees, night sky. No, we are not in Australia, so don't expect an afternoon forecast at this point. But luckily, at least cooling off and sticking with those clear conditions overnight. Dew point right now, 56 degrees. You're going to hear us talk about that a lot over the next 48 hours as that moisture kind of builds back into the environment. And do we fully recover that moisture in North Mississippi to produce a few strong storms? We'll see over the next 48 hours and really verify what is going to take place on Saturday, or at least one of the many parameters we're looking at. Greenwood, 63 degrees as well, just a beautiful night sky, still with plenty of stars up there. So if you want to get out there and do some stargazing, tonight is the night for it. I mean, if you look at Mississippi Live Weather Radar right now, dry as can be, clear as can be, a lot of that moisture still out there towards Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri, far away from us here in North Mississippi. I mean, this is over the past 7 days. And why am I showing you this? Well, the big reason why is because we're seeing something that we rarely see, and that is, actually, let me get the measuring tool here real quick. A diameter of, we'll take it all the way to that Tuscaloosa County area, 320 miles without a drop of rainfall over the past week. Wrap that around your mind. That is unreal whenever we talk about those dry conditions, and whenever we go northeast to southwest. Let's look at that here real quick. Let me get to that drop of rainfall. Oh wait, I'm drawing. Hang on one second. Let me get the measuring tool and go that southwest all the way up there through Columbus. I mean, we have a 1,200 mile stretch where we've not gotten a drop of rainfall over the past 7 days. That is insane. That is insanely dry. And so folks that are worried about the drought monitor, you have every right to be. The new one comes out tomorrow, and we expect that to be much worse than where it's been over the past, or where we had it last 7 days. And big reason why is because over the past 7 days, not a drop. And it's been above average temperature wise. Those just worsen those conditions. And so we're kind of looking towards the future, but not really with eagerness about getting that latest drought monitor. And as we talk about rain totals over the past 24 hours, you can see a lot of that action starting to transition just that much more east, inching closer and closer to us here in North Mississippi, giving us that threat for rain and storms, should I say, but also the possibility of severe weather. Of course, it does have to come at a cost, and we'll be tracking that here in just a moment. Let's bring it back here to our surface analysis, and as we expand things out once more, you kind of see all of those low pressure centers that are transitioning through Denver, Nebraska, South Dakota. This front right here, that's going to be our front going forward, but more systems will develop along that frontal boundary right here in the Oklahoma area here in the next 36 to 48 hours or so. That'll really start to build into our region, and the positioning of that low will again be another factor that we're looking at for that severe weather potential. But still, as of now, that high pressure dominating our forecast, we'll continue to see that take place as we get into that extended forecast. Of course, you see it right there in the Great Lakes, this having that clockwise motion to it and circulating in some of that northeasterly wind and that northeastern conditions, which of course is drier and cooler. Let's bring Futurecast back here to more of a regional point of view in the southeast. And as you can see, I mean, nothing to note. If we keep it right here in North Mississippi, you can see that overnight we're staying clear, we're staying calm, a little bit of cloud cover down there towards Houston and Dallas. fact, we're talking about cloud cover shows how dry and calm things have been. So yes, clouds are a realistic possibility as we get into the latter part of our Thursday. No rainfall really anticipated, but you can kind of see this moisture building back into the forecast as that high pressure transitions east and these winds start to shift just a bit. So we're not talking about directly north anymore, more of a northeasterly to an easterly flow here in North Mississippi. And that's just allowing that shift to take place before we fully go southerly winds and bring back that Gulf moisture here to North Mississippi. So there you see the progression of the winds north-northeast at your 6 a.m. commute, but towards the afternoon, more of an easterly wind and still about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so a little bit breezy throughout the day. Sunshine all day long, but you do see that little bit of cloud cover moving in by 9 p.m. and that's just a great sight to see for getting some of that moisture back into the area. Of course, we don't want it for severe weather, but at the same time we do because we desperately need rainfall. So we're going to be tracking the latest on those conditions. We do have our latest short-range model run, kind of walking through Thursday and Friday's forecast. How much cloud cover can we see? Will we see a drop of rainfall Friday? Are we talking about that much moisture? Of course, all of those questions will be answered here in the Room to Room Weather Center in just a moment. We also have those football forecasts. I didn't forget. So whoever you're rooting for will have their forecast here coming up very shortly, coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10 in the next minute.
Try to do something in under 6 minutes? Anything, like say, grow a beard. I bet you can. At Sweet Pepper's Deli, you get quality food in under 6 minutes. Now how about that? Sweet Pepper's Deli, life is sweet.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, welcome back into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. I know we are because the skies are clear. The forecast is calm. We're enjoying every bit of this fantastic forecast as long as it wants to stick around for. I mean, heading into our Thursday, we'll see those conditions linger. But honestly, across the region right now, just beautiful conditions. We saw earlier, I think I jumped over this camera. Let's go ahead and go back to Winona here real quick, where we're getting 63 degrees, dew point 57, a few ticks up from where we were at yesterday. And we expect that to get back into the 60s as we get into our probably Friday forecast. I think we're a little bit out of the realm here in the next 24 hours. 64 degrees, well, dew point right there, 60 degrees in West Point. So it is building back in some isolated spots. But for folks on the road, still a cool evening across the region. Might even have that heat on. I'm like right in the middle. You know, you have the blue on one side, red on the other, and you can go like right split in between. That's where I'm at right now for my commute home. But during the afternoon, air is gusting in the car because it is toasty conditions. Mississippi Live Weather Radar. Again, this is the good part about our forecast. Subjectively speaking, of course, it depends on your point of view. If you're farmers, this is not a good forecast whatsoever. If you're trying to get some outdoor activities done, this is the perfect weather. So Mississippi Live Weather Radar has those dry conditions here in North Mississippi, and not just dry, but also clear across the region. So your day planner overnight keeps those calm conditions around. Don't expect a rumble of thunder. Don't even expect a drop of rainfall. 62 degrees by midnight, cooling off into the upper 50s there by 6 a.m. So that's what I mean. Another cool start to our day, but dew points are climbing, and that means our low temperatures will too. So Thursday evening, or I always do that, Friday, take a moment of silence. Wednesday evening into Thursday morning, there you go. We're seeing dry and clear conditions persist across the region. Those northerly winds still cycling in some of that cooler air as a result. But as we get more into our Thursday morning and primarily Thursday afternoon, those winds do start to shift, and that's where we'll be seeing a slight shift in that forecast as well. 56 degrees in Boonville, 58 Iuka, 56 there towards Starkville, and 58 around Greenwood. So it is going to be slightly warmer than where we were at today. It's just that gradual warming trend that we talked about. It is affecting both our high and low temperatures. Drop off 56 degrees as we get into that school day forecast, 77 by lunch, and 85 by that last bell. If you thought today was toasty, well, buckle up for tomorrow. It's going to be even warmer. So let's go ahead and get into our Thursday futurecast, because this is going to see that shift in the winds becoming more of that easterly flow rather than that northerly flow. Northerly keeping us dry, calm, clear. I mean, we had dew points in the 40s, I believe, whenever there was that peak part of the high pressure system. Now starting to see it build back into the upper 50s as we saw there towards West Point, 60 degrees. So as the day goes on into your Thursday, wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of those passing clouds during the afternoon. So you can see those moving into eastern Arkansas, but whenever it reaches fully into Mississippi, it's going to be late into that afternoon and early evening time frame, and that's primarily going to be west of 55. Again, I'm just talking about clouds. I'm not talking about a drop of rainfall. So Thursday staying on the drier side, and at most we see partly cloudy conditions as we wrap up our Thursday. So afternoon plans still looking good to go, and definitely need the t-shirt and shorts ready. We're talking 87 in Bruce, 86 Amory, 90 towards Greenwood, and 85 South Haven. I mean, 90 in Greenwood. Guys, it is October 15th. Why are we still talking about 90 degrees? Let's get this out of the forecast. We want to start to transition into that sweatshirt weather, right? At least I know I am. So into your Thursday evening continues with those partly cloudy conditions, and this is one of our short range models, might I add. HRRR model doing a decent job at forecasting the last couple of rainy events, and so we're looking at this in a little bit more detail. And the fact that it has cloud cover in the area tells me that it is building moisture back a little bit quicker than some of our long range models were. Those, of course, linger in the forecast into our Friday midnight hour, and as we get into the rest of our Friday, cloud cover really building into the region, much more aggressive than our long track models were. So 6 a.m. I had partly cloudy skies down, might need to up that to mostly cloudy conditions for our commute. But as we head through the day, some breaks in that cloud cover along the state line, Alabama and Mississippi state line. But as the day goes on, we could see a few drops of rainfall, very, very light sprinkles. It's probably going to be more elevated more than anything, meaning not reaching the surface there by the afternoon time frame, but it is a realistic possibility to get a drop or two towards that mid-afternoon time frame. As we take it more into that 6 o'clock hour, you do see this cluster of showers start to develop, and that's around Clarksdale and West Helena. So let's expand this out here real quick, because I believe this is the last part of our model. Let's look at the positioning of this front on the short range model. So this has it right across Wichita and just outside of Oklahoma City. This is Friday at 6 p.m. So this isn't fully into that Saturday forecast, but it does say that it's inching closer and closer. Now the unstable air mass is of course Arkansas and Mississippi, or western Mississippi should I say. So there is that potential, but all of these showers that are starting to form, if those continue into early Saturday morning, those will start to eat up a little bit of that energy and of course make it for a more stable atmosphere once that front fully pushes in. If a large part of that forecast stays drier and that front pushes in with already an unstable air mass, well, then we could be looking at a few gusty storms for sure. So that's what we're watching over the coming days, and what this is telling me right now, or what you guys need to know is as the difference from what we were talking about at 6 p.m. is some of that moisture affecting a little bit better on short range model runs compared to what the long track ones were. So that's why it's imperative that we look at each model run as it comes out, because it tells us a whole new story and gives us a better idea on what to expect heading into Saturday's severe weather event. High temperatures for your Friday, yes, we trend a few degrees up as well. So when we talk about an unstable air mass, you need hot temperatures and a lot of moisture. And we have the hot temperatures, and we're starting to get a lot of moisture as well. 91 in Greenwood, 90 Belzona, 90 in Greenville. Hey, Greenwood, got some friends in the 90s. What are you guys doing? Come on. 88 Starkville and 89 towards Columbus, so just outside of the realm of 90s. And 82 in Boonville, so there are some locations trying to feel a little bit more like fall, but all across the region is still going to be well above average. Let's go ahead and look at that high school game of the week forecast presented by Casey Lott. 81 degrees pregame, 75 by halftime, and 69 by that final snap. It was a great time last week in Aberdeen. It was homecoming, and so all the graduating classes came back and had a big old tailgate, great food as you saw at the top of the highlight reel, and it was a great game as well. Choctaw County taking it though, and quite a highlight reel there for the Chargers. So it was a fun game, but it was definitely a blowout nonetheless. But both teams looking to get back on track, and this week we will be in Houston watching the Hilltoppers take on, oh my word, why did it escape me? Houston, oh my word, it's gonna... Itawamba. Oh my word. I don't know why that took a second. Itawamba versus Houston will be at that game. We are requesting that the band and cheer squads go ahead and send in their pictures for both of those schools. If you have a contact of someone who has it, or if you have it, go ahead and let us know, because we want to include that in the votes, because hey, the rivalry is just beginning. The game time, it's going to have even more than just what's on the field. It's what's on the poll, what's on the vote. however you want to word it. Either way, great forecast. I know I kind of breezed over this, but still looking good. As we get into those college game day forecasts, Ole Miss taking on Georgia. Speaking of college game day, they will be there bright and early. So if you want to cheer on the Rebels and maybe get to see Pat McAfee, Nick Saban, all of those guys, it'll be a good time towards that morning time, as well as that front not fully in Georgia, but first play 82 degrees, 80 by halftime, and 73 by that final snap. You do see clouds building, could have the potential for that front to affect folks in Georgia on the latter part of their weekend. Not going to be so for our Saturday, staying on the drier side. Let's get back here to Gainesville, should I say, not back here. We'll go down south. Gainesville, Florida, Mississippi State taking on the Gators at Florida. 84 first play, 80 by halftime, and 73 by that final snap. Hey, Bulldogs, you escaped the rain as well. Got away just in time and enjoying that beautiful Florida sunshine. The Sunshine State for a reason, right? Should be a good game, and hopefully the Bulldogs come out with a W because we so desperately need it to reach that bowl game eligibility. And let's take it back here close to our hometown. They're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Alabama taking on Tennessee. 79 degrees first play, 78 by halftime, and 76 by that final snap. Kickoff time at 6:30 is going to be an interesting one because if that game goes long, depending on the positioning of the front, if it speeds up just a bit, could be talking about a few showers. But if any of our local folks are heading down to Tuscaloosa to watch the game and head down to Bryant-Denny, well, you guys might be traveling back in some of that stronger rainfall and some of those stronger storms possibly. So that's why you guys need to watch the forecast. I mean, there's several reasons why, but that's just one of the many reasons because football may be affected by that front depending on how fast it goes. But let's go ahead and bring it back to that severe weather risk. And as you can see, level 2 risk still in play for our Saturday. They did extend it to Lee County and Chickasaw County. I'm curious what short-range model runs will say because I think that was a bit ambitious extending it all the way east of Highway 45, but again, we'll have a lot of questions answered here in the next 12 hours or so. Meteorologist Maggie McCauley having a look at some of those short-range model runs. We'll have some answers for you coming up Thursday morning, and we'll have hopefully even more answers, at least a more nailed-down forecast for your Thursday evening, and hopefully it kind of eases off like we are hoping for it to do. Severe weather threat, that bullseye still in Little Rock, but that's starting to encompass a bit more of North Mississippi. So strong wind gusts, a primary threat. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few large hailstones as well. Not exactly a high threat, but still a possibility. And that tornado threat, it's a non-zero tornado threat, which means the environment not exactly favorable for it, but a brief spin up definitely could happen with some of those prefrontal storms as well. So your 7-day forecast, as you can see, 86 degrees for the next couple of days, so warm forecast. But as we get into Saturday, 86 degrees with 62 degrees for our morning lows. That front passes through. We'll really feel it Sunday afternoon as 86 starts to transition to 74. Whew, but buckle up. 64 falling off to 47. We said the roller coaster has to come down at some point, and it will do exactly that into the start of our work week. So if you don't have the long sleeves out now, Monday will come a-calling, and you will need to get those out for sure. Because honestly, I was telling my wife, all day long, you might be able to get away with the long sleeves there for Monday. Tuesday may have another chance of rainfall as another front pushes on through, drops our temperatures once again into midweek, and it's just going to feel more and more like fall. So if you want the warm air, enjoy today, enjoy tomorrow, enjoy your Friday, enjoy parts of Saturday, because then the seasons really start to shift. So yes, we are seeing that change gradually happen. I'm seeing a lot of folks in chat saying hey to Matt. Excited that he was able to join us. If you missed it at the top of the broadcast, really recommend you guys go back and watch it on YouTube or Facebook because he was able to show us a live look in from Australia. It's daytime there. It's Thursday over there. We're still stuck in Wednesday. So a cool time. Hey to my mother-in-law in the chat. Appreciate you joining us from Spokane, Washington. We have people everywhere, all across North Mississippi, just showing up and showing out. So appreciate all of you guys. But I mentioned Matt a moment ago because we do have a look in there from Cairns. I think I'm saying that correctly. I'm saying it how Matt did because that's what I trust. And so we have a look in from when he was there earlier, getting off his flight and talking us through it. So let's go ahead and hear what he has to say about that area.
Well, hello there. We have arrived in Cairns as we have made our way to the northern part of the continent, northeast Australia. Our trip today was actually 1,200 miles by air from Sydney, that's kind of on the southeast side, to Cairns, that's on the north side. And believe it or not, in this case, north means more tropical. So this is a very tropical climate. Talking to our tour driver on the way in, the variation between the dry season, winter, and the wet season, summer, is only about 5 degrees. So not a huge difference. And so it definitely feels a lot more tropical here. You can see the lagoon behind me here, kind of a public area where people can just sort of swim. And then obviously just beyond that, we have the Pacific Ocean. But out there, and the reason why people come to this much smaller tropical area is because that's where the Great Barrier Reef is. So we're going to be able to get to fly over and take a look at that here soon. Not today, though. The rest of the day, we're going to check out the aquarium here, which of course focuses a lot on the type of aquatic wildlife, obviously, that they have in this part of Australia, and just honestly take in what is largely a very kind of tropical coastal town and everything that we have to experience with that. And just very excited about this change of pace. Only 160,000 people live in Cairns, C-A-I-R-N-S. And they say Cairns. Just gotta see if I can pronounce it the correct way. Again, appreciate the good folks at MLM for presenting this opportunity for us to come here to Australia. But for Mississippi Live Weather, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon in Cairns.
Such a fun trip. I mean, honestly, you get the tropics, you get the Great Barrier Reef. Excited to see that video, might I add. But you also got to see the Sydney Opera House today. The only thing that you're missing on that trip is sleep. I mean, you guys have been awake forever, and so hopefully you get some good rest. I would say tonight, but I don't even know what time it is there. So whenever you can. But still, thank you, Matt, for just being a part of, or bringing us a part of your journey, because we love getting to see it. And it's something that, you know, so many of us haven't had the opportunity to see and might not ever have the opportunity to see. So, I don't know, I might go to Cairns. Cairns looked very cool. I might tell Annalise when I get home, hey, we need to plan a trip. Maybe a post-baby trip. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But anyway, that kind of wraps it up here. It just gets to be a fun time at the 10 o'clock broadcast once we wrap up the forecast, right? Well, we'll touch base with Matt again tomorrow evening, so stay tuned for the latest on his Wonders of Australia presented by MLM. And of course, we will have the latest on that Saturday severe weather threat. And we want to mention that you guys can stay prepared. And of course, the best way to do that is using the Mississippi Live. Hello, everybody. I'm back. So download the Mississippi Live Weather app. You do have that first layer of protection when severe weather does strike, possible Saturday. So go ahead and do it right now, and you'll be glad you did come Saturday. Our next broadcast actually happening on the app. Hey, who would have guessed? At 6:37 and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley giving us the latest on those model runs. And I told you guys it was very important that you guys watch each model run come out, and we'll be able to walk you through step by step what that means for the extended forecast. And I'll be back with you guys 5, 6, and 10 on your Thursday evening, breaking down that forecast a little bit more as the latest model runs come out for the evening as well. So thank you guys for joining us. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Get lots of rest, enjoy the calm weather, and go ahead and download the Mississippi Live Weather app, of course. We'll see you guys back here bright and early for your cool Thursday morning.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's scary that it can be put into anything. We can't even see it or notice it.